pag-uusapan, comment nyo lang. Kung alam ko, pag-uusapan natin. Kahit hindi ko alam, pag-uusapan ko pa rin. Pero sasabihin ko hindi ko alam. Okay? Teka. Oops. Okay, so we're gonna be, of course, may malaking balita. We're gonna be following that, this news cycle. Nakita nyo naman yung title. Di ba? Yan, okay. Nasa YouTube na tayo. We are now on YouTube as well. So, pwede na tayo mag-start. Okay? Hindi na wag na tayo maghintay ng mga manonood. Oops. Ito wala. Okay. Nakalimutan ko paano gawin to Okay, try natin. Let's go. What's up, motherfucker? Welcome to the Powerful Comics Man Podcast. This is Ganito Lang Yan with Comics Man. Okay, so I've been away for about a week because of my body clock. Kasi habang tumatanda ako, biglang naging erratic yung yung body clock ko. As in, every month nagre-revolve siya, nagkakaroon siya ng cycle na means usually start of the month I would be a morning person. Ibig sabihin, gising ako sa umaga. Like kanina nagising ako mga 7. The other day 6 AM, 'di ba? Tapos as the month goes on, magigising na ako 9 AM, tapos 10 AM, tapos magiging tanghali na. And then so on and so forth hanggang by the time na last week ng month, I'd be waking up at around 10 PM. Ganun. So nagigising ako. Kumbaga bagong gising ako ng hindi naman 10 PM. Mga 8 ganyan. So usually nung mga nag-i-stream ako a few weeks ago, kakagising ko lang talaga nun. And it's taxing. Medyo nakakaburyong yun talaga. Pero I've learned to live with it and hindi siya masyadong ganun kalaking bother kasi pandemic ngayon and I work from home. There's not much to go outside for, but as much as possible, I try to maintain a healthy sleep cycle. Lalo na natatrack ko na ngayon yung sleep ko. Tapos basta yun ang dahilan ko kung bakit. And hindi na gising ako ng umaga pero parang wala sa sistema ko na mag-stream ng umaga. Parang ewan ko maybe one day I'll get around it kasi hindi ko pa masyadong pinag-e-eksperimentuhan ko pa rin hanggang ngayon tong daily streams. Okay. Let's see. So, meron tayong improvements din sa studio, sa setup. Naglagay tayo ng screen sa likod. Well, that TV I've owned that for a couple of years now, but yan, sinalpa ko dyan para maganda. Anyway, so yun, this is Ganito Lang Yan with Comics Man. And ang MO natin ngayon sa show na to ay, well, just browse my Facebook feed and see what's happening and then comment on anything that I see on the news feed. And although ngayon meron tayong malapit na news cycle, to those who have been following the show, I've followed the election, especially during the polls. I've created videos about the candidates, Bongbong Marcos, Leni Robredo, Sara Duterte, and Isko, and basta lahat sila Pacquiao. So right now, so I think that's one issue that I would like to focus on this show. Oy, may tao na sa YouTube and Facebook. What's up? Magandang gabi. Uy, mag-aalas 5 na pala. Okay, let's start. Kasi meron tayong malupit na balita. Actually, kahapon pa to eh. I was thinking to go live yesterday, pero basta meron akong kailangan gawin nung hapon. Okay, ito ang pinakamalupit na balita. Kasi medyo matagal ko nang inaantay. Actually, lahat naman inintay na to eh. Everybody has predicted that Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte will not pursue uh, the will not really pursue the the mayoralty of Davao, yung re-election niya para mayor ng Davao, but instead yung she'd be uh, running for the national elections. Ang tanong kung ano ngayon ang kanyang tatakbuhan, kung president or vice president, which is kumbaga ano na sa akin to eh. Ako kasi I'm not really that political at all. It may seem like it, but not really. Ako kasi inilalagay ko yung destiny ko sa sarili kong kamay. I rarely depend on the government. Well, probably the government helps me in many ways that I seldom notice. Of course, the infrastructures are there. Yung mga electricity and the things that run the economy, syempre nakakatulong sa akin yun as a person living in modern times. But in terms of determining my future, the things that I want to do in life, uh, yung success na ma-achieve ko sa buhay ko, I put that on my own shoulders. I don't really depend on the government para ayusin yon para sa akin, 'di ba? If I do well, then good for me. That is the goal. But if I don't do as well as I want to, kumbaga ako 'yun. That's on me. 'Di ba? Unless blatantly merong ibang factors, pero it's not me. It's not like me to blame other people, much less the government for the things that happen to me personally. Especially the things that I can control in my life. Well, that's just my personal philosophy. Okay? But of course, um so my point is nawala ako eh. So my point is kumbaga yung mananalo sa election na to, although I care about it, but I'm not gonna hindi ako I'm not gonna cry over it kung hindi manalo yung yung binoto kong kandidato. Okay? Kung ano mang mangyari after the election, it is what it is. When President Duterte, the current president, Rodrigo Duterte, won in 2016, I kinda parang, what? Fuck, parang ganun yung ano ko eh. Kasi hindi ko naman siya binoto. Although hindi ko rin binoto si Mar Rojas. Kasi wala talaga ako may iboto noon. I left the president ballot blank. Wala akong nilagay na presidente. That's as much as I can say about the last time I voted. So kasi wala talaga akong ano eh. I couldn't make myself to vote for any of the candidates back then. When Duterte parang won, parang bakit naman ito, 'di ba? But then again, later on parang what am I gonna do? Yan ang nanalo eh, 'di ba? Yan ang nanalo. Parang ang lagi ko sinasabi yan yung nakayanan ng Pilipino. Yan yung estado ng society natin right now. Whether we like it or not, this is this is the nation who spoke. So, I didn't like it at all. Kumbaga, ang daming matatalinong Pilipino, ang daming mga Pilipino na world class na pwede makapagsabayan sa world stage, probably more knowledgeable. But yun eh. Yun yung pinakinggan ng masa eh. So, who am I to question the wisdom of the Philippine electorate? But then again, that doesn't mean that we cannot criticize uh, whichever administration comes in and wins. Okay, so that's uh that's what I can say about that. Um, Teka, pero ngayon, eto, Sara Duterte Carpio withdrew her bid for election as mayor in Davao. And ito ang pinakamatindi. Since wala na talaga akong masyadong pakialam kung sinong manalo, very little. Kumbaga, I have my own bets, pero kung ano yung manalo, hindi na ako aangal, 'di ba? Unlike before. Parang siguro it took me 2 months before parang yan talaga eh, 'di ba? Pero ngayon, whoever wins, that's it. Kasi pointless na kumbaga I made an assessment about myself na parang mababad trip lang ako araw-araw nito. Parang I may not like the president, but alam mo yun, hindi ko, kumbaga, my own principle still tells me that I control my own life. So what does that have to do with me? Of course, not everyone. I would uh, tawag dito, recognize that there are people who really depend on the government for their, hindi ko alam kung paano kasi hindi ko yun experience, but if there are people, it's not a knock on them. Okay, so since si Duterte, ito ang matindi nito, si Duterte, Sara, and Bongbong Marcos, the leading candidate. Well, actually, biglang hindi siya leading candidate nung huling polls. Pero I still believe that Bongbong and Sara are the strongest candidates in the election. Ang determining factor lang nito, ang clincher niyan, is whether Sara will run as president or vice president. And as, kumbaga, ako mangmimiro na lang ako eh. Mangmimiro na lang ako sa election. Hindi ko alam kung paano, how their fan bases naging dalawa na eh. Dati kasi isa lang yan eh. How it will split into two. Kasi kanina, in this account, I'm following Thinking Pinoy. And nagla-live stream siya kanina. And alam mo yun, parang hirap na hirap siya na isipin kung anong gagawin kung si Sara ba ay kakandidato as president or vice president. Kasi we know how politics goes in the Philippines. Of course, may mga dirty side yan. Either sa Dilawan ka or sa DDS ka or kay Isko ka, merong mga dirty tactics na inahanda yan. And the alleged troll farms from any side, parang how are they attack each other? Especially the DDS who are supportive of BBM as well. Kumbaga hindi ko alam, will Thinking Pinoy attack Sara Duterte? Kasi Thinking Pinoy had been, parang pro Marcos talaga siya. He had been meeting with the Marcos family, but at the same time, isa siya sa mga vocal DDS vloggers, quote unquote, or influencers, di ba? So ano mangyayari kung magso-short circuit ba ang utak ni Thinking Pinoy? Hindi ko alam. So that's a very interesting thing to think about. Which is, ngayon, di ko alam. Kasi malay mo, nag-announce na pala si Sara. Natatakbo pala siya, di ba? As president or vice president. Mag-refresh tayo. Baka may breaking news. Let's see. Pero I think, within this week, anong date na ba ngayon? 10? Wednesday? I think by Friday, we're gonna find find out the answer kung president or vice president ang tatakbuhan ni Sara. Hindi ko parang ang baduy naman kung isasagad nila ng sa November 15. Kasi there's also a news, eto, just in, hindi yan. Meron ding news na si Bongo is, ito. Aspiring VP and Senator Bongo says his plans for 2022 may change as the deadline for substitution of candidates near. Okay? So, inihahanda na nila kung alin yung, kumbaga pwedeng kang, okay, parang pwede ako umatras sa candidacy ko. Si Bato, sinabi na rin yon last time, na parang pinipilit niya pa rin si Sarang kumandidato as president. And pag ginawa niya yon, Bato will happily give up his slot para sa election for Sara. And I don't know. Hindi ko alam. Kanina nakinig ako ng konti dun sa live stream ni Thinking Pinoy Kasi I'm really curious kung paano nila i-handle yon. Yung idea na maglalaban si Sara at si Bongbong. Kasi a lot of the BBM fan base, hindi ko alam, supporters na lang, di fan base. A lot of the BBM supporters, I think, parang thinks of this idea that they will be allies. Magkakampi sila. That Duterte and Sara and BBM will be president and vice president, with BBM as president. But then again, if you go back to the polls before, Sara Duterte was leading si Sara Duterte at one point, and nung hindi pa nag-a-announce ng candidacy yung mga candidates, yung mga COCs hindi pa na-file, the Sara Duterte is leading. So ngayon, that means na pwede siyang manalo as president. So why would you give up your slot as president kung pwede ka namang manalo nun? Diba? This is Game of Thrones shit. 'Di ba? Ikaw ba kung alam mo na pwede kang maging presidente? Alam mo 'yun ba dahil mabait ka lang, parang ganoon? Pwedeng maybe Sara would think that she is not yet ready to become president. She would like to try her hand as vice president muna. Pwede naman 'yun. So that's why she will let BBM take the presidential slot dun sa magiging vice president na lang siya. And that's if they team up at all. Kasi pwedeng hindi di ba? Pwedeng hindi sila mag-team up. That could be in the playbook as well. Parang si Sara could just run as vice president na walang president. Parang may, 'di ba? Kasi si Bongo parang hindi naman siya vice president ni Bato magkasama ba sila? I think they are pala. Pero doon pa lang kay Bato tsaka kay Bongo parang duda na ako Kasi kung silang dalawa yung magti-team up, dapat si president si Bongo kaya tapos vice president si Bato, 'di ba? Kaya alam mong phony yung diskarte ng dalawa. Which is alam naman nating lahat, and it's within the law. Nandun may provision about substitution. Okay, then so be it. They're not fooling anyone already, although what these moves do is create news cycles, 'di ba? So pag-uusapan 'yan. Biglang when Duterte finally tinigil niya yung finally announced before President Duterte in 2016 na okay, hindi ako tatakbo talaga ako, 'di ba? Eh di malaking balita 'yon, 'di ba? These moves are designed to create big news cycles that would go around and make people talk about them all the time, which is brilliant if kung political strategy ang gagawin mo, especially in a country like the Philippines, that is it worked, 'di ba? It works. um Meron akong nakausap dati na taga Davao. Parang ano na raw dati pa ni Duterte 'yan. Parang diskarte niya. Okay. I'm seeing the comments. Manny, Benjo, what's up, Draven and Richel. So, I don't know kung yun lang gusto kong malaman. Gusto kong makita. How will the DDS how will the DDS tawag dito react against BBM? Will they play dirty against each other and the vice versa, 'di ba? Yung mga BBM kasi dati alay sila eh. If Sara Duterte runs as VP ni BBM or not, just as VP, as a solo candidate, di ko alam kung may ganun nang nangyari before. Basta, then wala. Olats na si Lenny. It's just numbers lang. Numbers lang tayo, ha? Kumbaga, yun yung ano natin. I'm just talking about the numbers. Tumaas na naman si Marcos. Ano nangyari dito? May bago bang survey? What the hell? May bago bang survey? Teka, tingnan natin. November 2, may bagong labas. Manila Times. Whoa, meron pala. Damn. 68% na si BBM. Di ba? Paano pa mahahabol yan? Sino yung second? Let's see. BBM, nasan yun? 68% Moreno at number 2 is at 7. Di pala number 2. Di pala ano to. Sino tong 7.9? Si Isko. Pacquiao, 7.2. Robredo, probably second at 10.7%. Wala na to. Sorry to the supporters of the other candidates. This is I don't know if the election will happen today, then yan. 68%, almost 70% are voting for Marcos. But then again, like I was saying, if the Lenny people and the Isko people have a chance into at least making this a close fight, or at least get back into the fight, Sara Duterte needs to run as president. 'Di ba? Yun ang ipagdasal nila na tumakbo as president si Sara. Kasi yun lang, doon lang sila makakahabol kasi that's the only way that this 68% will be split. How much is the question? Kasi dito sa huling dito, ba't nawala yung nag-number 1 si Isko? Nag-number 1 si Isko. Ito, 'di ba? Noong October 17 to 26. Wow, what happened within October 26 to November 2? Wow, ang weird ng polling. To those who do not believe the polls, wala akong magagawa sa inyo. Pero this is the only figures we have. Okay? So kung naniniwala man kayo dito, hindi, Uh, Ako, I do not have 100% trust in the polls, pero amongst every other metric available, ito yung pinaka qualified na pwede mong paniwalaan. Ito yung pinaka papaniwalaan ko. Not 100%, but at least these are scientifically done, 'di ba? Kung may corruption sa paggawa nito, hindi ko na alam. It's not on me anymore. But 68%, man. 68%. Hindi natin alam kung ano mangyayari. Then again, Sara Duterte, ilang porsyento ang makukuha niya from that 68%. And also, she could also play safe, 'di ba? Parang sure win na rin siya as VP, malamang. Hindi, kalaban niya pala si Tito Soto eh. Hindi ko I don't know, malamang di naman di naman siguro mananalo si Tito Soto. Hindi natin alam. But things are looking dire on the Lenny campaign. And again, it doesn't help dun sa mga pinagfo-focus ng mga supporters niya is until now, they just keep on ragging on BBM. BBM's kaso ngayon, yung kaso naman ni BBM before, yung tax evasion case niya, yung conviction niya before. Dati, last week, it was the diploma, 'di ba? Yun yung mga issues. To me kasi, okay, those are no nonsense things, but it doesn't, hindi talaga yun makakatulong eh. 'Di ba? Hindi siya, it doesn't kumbaga scratch BBM's chances. The only thing that it does is people keep talking about BBM, even his detractors, yung mga hindi mga anti-Marcos, parang in effect they are campaigning for him. Kasi yun din ang sinasabi mo eh. Kumbaga, again, I would compare it to Trump and Hillary Clinton back in sa US in 2016 din ata, 2015. The campaigns, yung campaign ni Hillary, parang wala rin silang masabi kundi Trump, orange man bad, 'di ba? So you're supposed to be campaigning for your candidate, and ang nangyayari, mas madalas mo pang banggitin yung pangalan ng kalaban. So ganun din ang nangyayari with BBM and the Lenny team. But nagulat ako dito, kakalabas lang pala. Kailan ba lumabas tong poll na to? 68%. I don't know. I think mathematically speaking, obliterated na yung iba. Others na nga lang iba 2.0%. But then again, ang mangyayari, kung balik tayo doon kay Sara running, how will the DDS supporters split? DDS versus BBM ang mangyayari. Hindi ko pa alam. Babantayan natin yan. Okay? Yun lang masasabi ko. I suppose wala na akong madadagdag doon. Let's move on to other news sa stream. Isa pa dun sa wag na nga. Iba naman. Tingnan natin to, COVID. This brings the country's total. Ayokong buksan. Tingnan natin. Ito dapat ang mga ginagawa ni Lenny, 'di ba? Ito dapat yung sineshare ng mga followers niya. Hindi yung diploma ni BBM, 'di ba? Pakita nila na may ginagawa si Vice President. Yun dapat ang gawin, 'di ba? Kasi yun ngang alleged yung sinasabing bilyones na ninakaw ni Bongbong Marcos ng pamilya Marcos, wala silang pakialam dun eh. 'Di ba? Yung diploma pa ba? Yun pa bang magpapalit ng utak nila? Hindi na, 'di ba? Wala nga silang pakialam dun sa mga ano eh, sa mga human rights violation and dun sa mga sa Guinness Book World Records na corruption. Yung pa bang diploma ang poproblemahin? Kumbaga, it's just common sense, man. Let's see. Eto, CNN. Iba naman tayo, ha? Ano ba to? Si ano to, ha? Si Emily Ratajkowski. Okay, may book siya talking about the dangers of being desired. Ay, nako. Blurred lines. Napaka-desirable naman talaga ng babaeng to. Mag-scroll up na tayo bago pa ka. Bago pa kung ano masabi ko dyan. Okay. Okay. Si Mang Kanor. Mang Kanor. Tsaka na tayo magagawa ko ng ibang episode about the UFC and MMA kasi napakalupit ng UFC 268. Okay? Medyo magugulo tayo pag sinamahan natin yan. Papahaba tayo ng sobra. What else? Okay, tingnan natin yung YouTube. Oops. Okay. Usman. Sino ba tong Marites na to? Parang yan yata yung Pinoy Karen eh. Diba? Karen. Marites. Washington Post. Vice lang daw, sabi, ang gusto ni BBM, sabi ni Aimee. So magpapalit sila, sabi ni Benjo. Talaga? Well, we'll see. We'll see. That's also an option, 'di ba? Kasi mga option naman diyan would be maglalaban sila, magkakampi sila officially o magkakampi sila unofficially. Ang pinaka-interesting na pwedeng mangyari is how dirty will it gonna be if they eventually ended up fighting each other. Grabe yun. Grabe. Breaking, Gael Garcia. Werewolf by Night. Hindi ako masyadong familiar dun sa Werewolf by Night at all. So, I'm not really hyped on that. Ano ba yan? Ba't ganito? Jackie Chan. 11-11. Ito, Thug Rose and still. Napakaganda ng UFC 268. One of the best cards in history. Fight cards. Yung lineup ng mga naglaban. And it delivered. Although, siguro mga 9. Level 9 lang yung mga dun sa mga main events. Pero dun sa ibang fights, it's one of the best in UFC history. COVID, biglang nawala yung mga balita tungkol sa COVID. Parang wala akong nakikitang balita tungkol sa COVID. Air Force welcomes final batch of S-70I Black Hawks. Galing saan? From Poland? Okay. Bill Burr, return for The Mandalorian Season 3. Naku, eto, cancel culture naman yan. Let's see. Wonder Woman 3 script is currently being worked on, says Gal Gadot. Yung Wonder Woman 2 was a disaster. As a disaster. Diba? Hindi, ewan ko, that's what happens when you, pag inuuna ng Hollywood, ang virtue signaling, then the story itself, it's, wag na tayong mag-dwell dyan. Pero sana hindi kasi maganda yung Wonder Woman #1 eh. Ang ganda nun. It's not the best movie ever made, but it's compared to Wonder Woman 2, it's kumbaga the plot is not that elaborate. Ang pinaka palpak na ginawa ng Wonder Woman 2 is yung plot nila na yung wish, 'di ba? Napaka-complicated nun. Napaka-complicated na premise 'yon. And you should establish the rules on how the wishes work. Hindi nila nagawa 'yon. Which is ang hirap kahit ako magagawa ka ng rules with the wishes kasi dun sa huling part parang si tawag dito, yung ginawa nilang villain si Donald Trump pa, 'di ba? Ginawa nila, 'di ba? Si pangalan to si Peter, ano pangalan nun? Si Mandalorian, 'di ba? Ano siya, nakaporma siya na pormang Trump. Tapos gusto niyang i-manipulate lahat ng mga tao sa mundo by broadcasting the wish kasi siya na yung naging wish master, 'di ba? And of course there would be people who would have contradicting wishes, 'di ba? Paano mo gagawin 'yun? So let's say kung may isang tao doon, hindi lang isa, sandamakmak na tao siguro mag-wish na sana sila yung pinakamayaman na tao sa mundo, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Let's say 10 o kaya 2 na lang. So sinong pagbibigyan mo doon, 'di ba? And that's just one example. Of course, you can think of a million other ways on how that premise would be very problematic as a plot device. So, dun pa lang, walang writer na kayang magsulat nun. Dapat as a writer, kailangan i-trim down nila yung premise na yun na hindi dapat gawan mo ng rules and it should be very strict so that it could work, diba? Okay, ba't ganito mga refresh natin? Eto, si Thinking Pinoy, mahal na mahal ka po namin, Mayor Inday. Paano pag nilabanan niya sa BBM, 'di ba? Mahal niya pa rin ba si Mayor Inday? 'Di ba? Naku. We will see. Tingnan natin kung paano mag-aaway yung mga 'yan. If you have kayo, anong hula nyo? Mag-VP ba or President si Sara? Let's see. Uy, tayo to Why pick 6 when you can get 12? Oh, ito pala. May nagko-comment pala. Okay. Ba't parang biglang walang mga... Ito, magkasama pa sila. Kailan to? Stock photo lang to. Bongbong party keen on president position. Says Sara, okay to be VP. Yan ba yung pinakabago? 10 minutes. Okay to be VP. Bakit may dito? Bakit may mga plastic na baso? Ay, mag-beer bong sila. Beer pong. What else? Ano pa bang, meron pa ba tayong... Eto! Pag-usapan natin itong si Zer. Ba't yun naman ganyan, Zer? Eto. Nung isang araw pa to so this guy had the fatal mistake. Hindi naman fatal. Wag naman. uh, kumbaga, kumbaga, napaka napakalaking blunder. Probably the blunder of his life so far by posting this TikTok video on doon sa TikTok sa mga followers niya na ayan, basically ang nakalagay dun sa sa text, pag dumaan yung cute na student mo. So keep in mind this guy is a teacher, 'di ba? Tapos tamang pa-cute lang, raba while dancing, 'di ba? Kasama ang kanyang mga mapang-akit na mga mata at gumigiling na kakisigan. Yun nga lang, from what I heard, hindi ko ma-confirm, pero I think he deleted this immediately as soon as probably may nagsabi sa kanya or started reading negative comments, 'di ba? So nahimasmasan siya ng konti, tinanggal niya. But then again, wala na, too late na 'yan. Na save na 'yan ng kung sino mang mga damuho, kung sino mang mga estudyante niya, malamang, and it could be easily used against him. And yun nga nangyari. So this guy, ang dami niyang bashers ngayon. Some are even calling for his license to be tawag doon para mawalan siya ng lisensya pagtuturo. And well, I wouldn't blame the people who said that. Most likely the people who said that commented it as a knee-jerk reaction, most likely. Baga parang, tangina to. Sumasayaw-sayaw ka diyan, ha. Para pa-cute ka sa sa mga estudyante mo. Gago ka ba? So tanggalin ng lisensya 'yan, 'di ba? Mabilis pag yun ang kahit ako lalo na kung may anak akong babae tapos makikita ko ganyan yung ipopost ng teacher niya. It's very easy to come up with that reaction. But then again, if you think about it, parang do you really want to live in a society where you cannot get second chances, 'di ba? Because we're all bound to screw up at one point in our lives, 'di ba? One way or another, whether mahuli ka or hindi, pwede kang mag-screw up. And I think there's always a chance, at least a chance to make amends dun sa mga mistakes mo, 'di ba? Hindi yung parang kumbaga parang is one strike and you're out. Parang di man maganda 'yon. After thinking about it, I think the better way to deal with this is to investigate this man, diba? He looks like a kid compared to me, compared to me. I'm a 40-year-old dude. This guy looks like probably wala pang mga 25 or younger. If not, well, yung filter ng TikTok deceiving din yan eh. So maaring he's older than that. But I think the more mature way or more logical or more, I don't know what what word to describe it. The better way na lang. But the better way to handle this is to investigate if there's a pattern of a possible pedophilia tendencies from this person. And if not, kasi this could have been, alam mo yun, I've been young too, and I know for a fact that I did way worse. Hindi naman way worse, di ba? Parang things that are a little similar than this or comparable na lang. 'Di ba? Pero ako, wala naman akong na-rape, wala naman akong pinidipilyo, 'di ba? And sometimes these things happen. It's not, am I proud of those things? No, 'di ba? Would I recommend people um doing it as well? Hindi rin. Uh, but alam mo 'yun, parang I don't know, hindi rin uh, like I said, parang di naman maganda na I don't know. Teka, I'm thinking about it in real time. I suppose if the authorities can find a pattern, 'di ba? Kasi I don't want to make excuses for bad behavior. Um at the same time, I don't want to hindi rin I'm also against in punishing people because of thought crimes, 'di ba? Parang naisip mo pa lang, 'di ba pa naman ginagawa, 'di ba? Magkaiba naman 'yun. Because a lot of people can think of doing really nasty things. I know a lot of people who fantasize of killing the people that they hate, 'di ba? Will you punish them for what for for feeling that they want to kill somebody? 'Di ba? Parang medyo alangan. Pero of course, when it comes to we have a different standard when it comes to sexual crimes, 'di ba? Kasi I don't know, as a guy, I can only imagine. I don't know if I can even imagine it right. The feeling of getting raped, 'di ba? It's alam mo 'yun. I don't I can't even describe the horror of somebody going through that ordeal. In Joe Rogan dun sa podcast niya describes it um the way he described it was like this. Imagine that you're a guy, you yourself right now, a normal guy, and you are the only guy na normal, and everybody else are men as big as Brock Lesnar, 'di ba? Ganun. Mga Brock Lesnar lahat ng mga tao pag lumabas ka nandun. And they all wanna fuck you. 'Di ba? Di ba nakakatakot? Nakakatakot 'yun. 'Di ba? Kasi as men, 'di ba? Most men would be stronger physically compared to men, lalo na kung mga bata, 'di ba? Kung bata yung babae, 'di ba? So it's it's a tricky case, pero if we're gonna go back with eto kay Sir, if wala namang pattern ng if if they can prove that that kumbaga this is just a lapse of judgment on his part, na alam mo yun, I think it should be considered na maging napatawarin naman siya. Kasi gusto mo rin napatawarin ka pag sumablay ka, 'di ba? So dapat marunong ka rin magpatawad. But of course, babantayan na next time. Okay, hindi pa tayo. Eto, COVID, sa wakas. Kaso hindi naman, itong now you know na to, hindi ko naman alam to eh. Ewan, ba't finakalo ko to? Huwag na yan. Ano pa ba? Rappler, PRC announced on Wednesday, November 19, Customs Broker Licensure Examination? Ano yung Customs Broker? Mga customs? So ano to? Licensure ba ng mga korap? Ng mga hindot sa customs? Yung ba yan? Tingnan natin. Ano ba itong customs broker licensure na to? Customs broker Ngayon ko lang narinig yun. Ano yun? Customs So, para makapagtrabaho ka sa customs, gano'n. Customs brokers. Hindi naman siguro course to, no? Parang, baka mga special, ano lang yan. Include, teka. Hindi, may mga may mga universities eh. Bakit? Bakit ngayon ko lang nalaman na mayroong ganitong Professional Regulation Commission, PRC yan. Anong ginagawa ng customs regulations broker? Customs broker. Tingnan nga natin. Anong kailangan malaman ko? Customs broker. Job. Anong ginagawa ng customs? What does a customs broker do? Customs brokers are private individuals, partnerships, associations, or corporations licensed, regulated, empowered by U.S. Customs. Oo nga, so customs nga. And border protection. Assist importers and exporters in meeting federal requirements. Oh, so yung mga nagtatrabaho sa customs nga. So, grabe. Ngayon ko lang ngayon ko lang nalaman na may ganyan pala. Kailangan palang ng akala ko parang mag-comsci ka lang, pwede ka na doon. Okay, architect. Isa pang nagulat ako na mayroon pang lisensya, yung librarian, di ba? Ang pala ng profession na yun. Librarian. Kala ko basta parang pumipili lang sila dun sa mga teacher para maging librarian. Hindi ko alam na isa palang profesyon ng pagiging librarian. Oh, nangyayari dito. Parang wala akong maisip na makitang maganda. What else? Uy, meron sa YouTube. Masyado lang yata nag-overreact ang DepEd. Marami pang problema na dapat nilang i-address. Tama, sabi ni Chad Cortez. Kasi like I said, knee-jerk reaction ng mga makakakita. So magkakaroon ng clamor. Tingin ko hindi nag-react ng OA yung DepEd kasi parang sabi naman iimbestigahan nila eh. Parang nakita lang nila na may umalma. So, tingnan natin. Yun. Ano pa? Could still be US military of US. Grabe yung ito na sponsored lang, US Military TV. Grabe yung mga ads ng ng US military ngayon, ng US Army, US Navy. Mga woke shit, 'di ba? Grabe, i-YouTube nyo yung yung mga US military ads. Matatawa ka na lang. Grabe yung yung pagiging woke ng US talaga. They have taken over the US. Mga Marxist ideologies. And then if you compare it to military ads ng China and Russia, grabe. Kung lang ako if I'm way younger, tapos Chinese ako, nakita ko yung mga ads na yun, magsusundalo talaga ako eh. Tapos wala lang ako magawa. Nasa China ako, sa halip na mag-assemble ako ng mga buko ng iPhone na yan. Di magsusundalan na lang ako. Di ba? Teka. Tingnan natin. Kasi makaka-copyright tayo sa YouTube eh. Tingnan natin yung Chinese military ad. China military ad. Eto. Chinese military commercial 2019. Whoa! Okay. Yan oh, mga sumasabog, 'di ba? Patay na tayo. Diba, ganyan-ganyan. Okay, disiplina, 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 'di ba? Camaraderie, camaraderie. Tapos po, ito na, may missile. Ah, grabe oh, 'di ba? Gusto ko ring magpaputok ng kanyo ng tangke. Gusto ko ring ayan, mag-parachute. Tapos maglangoy. Nang naka parang costume ng astronaut, 'di ba? Oh, ay, mga sumasabog. 'Di ba? Sino hindi may engganyo niyan? Eh kung nag-aano ka lang, ayan oh, si Winnie the Pooh, 'di ba? Oh, eh kung nandun ka, nagugutom ka lang, anak ka ng magsasaka dun sa China, 'di ba? Tapos hindi mo sarili yung mga inaanim mo. Binibigay mo lahat sa gobyerno, 'di ba? Samantalang yung US military ad. Basta it's ano, eto, ginawa pa nilang animated Emma, The Calling. 'Di ba? Kita mo naka-turn off yung comments, 'di ba? Wag na nating yan oh. So this is a story of a soldier who operates. Teka. Okay. Tapos sa halip na ipakita mo yung mga naglalaban, 'di ba? Yung mga training na exciting. Eto, biglang merong flashback with a little girl raised by two moms. 'Di ba? Yun ang kanilang pangbenta, 'di ba? Bentahin nila March for Equality and mga ganyan, sorority, full of other strong women. 'Di ba? I get the messaging, okay? Wala akong problema dun sa mga kung gusto niyo ng ganyan ang i-message mo. But if you're gonna use this to attract people to join the military, 'di ba? Puta, hindi na, no? Maisip ko, puta, mga baril pa ako ng mga itchik dun. So, yan ang, kumbaga, it's not the right tool, in my personal opinion, 'di ba? For to recruit people, kumbaga, to recruit warriors. And that's just one. Meron pang ilan pa, yan, no? America's New Woke Army ad. So, madami nang nag-ano dyan, madami nang nag-commentary about these things. You can just check them out for yourselves. Okay. Ano pa tayo? Staying mom commenting on Sara's withdrawal. Not appropriate yet, says Marcos Camp. Hindi ko alam kung alam na nila. Alam na ba nila o hindi? Talagang binibitin lang. Pero sana maglaban sila just for the popcorn moments. Di ba? Kung paano sila maglalaban. Kasi most likely one of them will gonna be the winner. Kasi right now, ayan, no? BBM, once again, 68% of the voters in the latest poll. Hanap pa tayo. What else? Pfizer Philippines. Big Pharma. Ito, isang si Chris Barnett. Okay, itong bagong fighter na to. Ito, Duterte said executives of Pharmally, which bagged billions of pesos in government contracts last year, should go behind bars if they failed to pay taxes. Taxes. Okay naman talaga. Yung taxes lang yung anuan mo, pagtutunan mo ng pansin. From what I gathered, hindi ko masyadong pinagtuunan ng pansin tong Pharmally, pero I think parang it's just a company that just sprung out of nowhere and got the contracts para labanan ng COVID-19 pandemic sa Pilipinas. Or maybe they're just one of the big players and which sa investigation involves luxury cars popping up in garages ng mga executives nila. Ay, nako. Alam mo yun, yung pandemic, I get it. It's a scary thing na nangyari. It's out of our hands. But then again, it had always been an opportunity to do corrupt things na, alam mo yun, very, very, kumbaga, almost walang resistance against it. Kasi takot nga yung mga tao eh. Diba? Whew! Piyesta ang mga corrupt. Gibo! Inang, si Gibo, hindi ko. No, biglang nabalitaan si Gibo. Ano naman to? Wala na. Wala na ba? Ano yan? Bakit mo pinapakita ng edits mo, sir? Ano to? Kapuso mo. Jessica Soho. Lalaki mula Ilocos Sur. Bakit nagawang patulin ang sariling ari? Oh my God! Holy shit! Oh man! Holy shit! Ano kayang comments nito? Dave Villanueva, is he okay now? Holy shit, sus Maria, pero bakla ako pero di ko naisipang patuloy ng aking Kembular. Depressed malamang. This is not funny. Gising mga corny jokes. Kyle Padilla, teka. Sino? Grabe, pero may tawag dyan eh. Yung nagse-self-mutilate ng genitals. There had been viral videos before kasabay ng mga 2 girls 1 cup era to eh, of people literally, alam mo yun, cutting off their dicks with scissors, diba? Hindi ko nagawang panoorin yung scene na yun. Nakita ko lang, hindi ko kayang panoorin yun. Nakakapangilabot. I think there's tingnan natin kung mag-google natin. Cutting of genitals disorder ba tawag dyan? Genital self-mutilation. Ito, tingnan natin. Bagal. Genital self-mutilation. Tingnan natin. Uy, mag-refresh ka. Anak ng. Schizophrenia spectrum disorder. So ayaw mag load. Ito. Naku, ano yan? Bagal. Anyway, I think there's a name for that disorder. Hanapin nyo na lang, research na lang. Ayaw pa alam sa atin ng Google right now. Ano pa? Tingnan natin sa YouTube kung anong trending. Tingnan natin, library, saan ba 'yun? Explore. Okay. Tingnan natin kung may mga trending sa YouTube. Trending. Filipino Squid Game. Etong si Donalyn, gumawa ng tindi nung ginawa niya na Filipino Squid Game eh. Ginastosan niya talaga eh. Teka. Donalyn, wag mo akong ha. Yan. Ipi-preview lang. Naka-post lang para. Hindi yan. Yung part 1 pa lang napapanood ko. Hindi ko pa napapanood tong part 2. Pero basically, what she did is gather personalities, mga celebrities ito in their own right. Si Baron Geisler, si Rastaman, yung mga TikToker, eto sa ano to si Master ano to? Si si Ghost Tracker. Ito hindi ko kilala. Ito si Marvin Fohas sa TikTok, 'di ba? Ganun na ako ka-immersed sa TikTok, kilala ko na si Marvin Fohas, 'di ba? Hassle. Oh, so sila and they replicated the games. So pinagganuhan nila, pinaggastusan talaga ni Donalyn. Pati yung mga glass, ito, meron pa silang ganyan. Ay, hindi naman glass tong ginawa nila. Hindi naman fiberglass. Tapos sa pool mahuhulog. Pero, glass ba yan? Tingnan natin. Ayun, baka plywood lang. Plywood. Mukhang plywood. Kasi ang hirap linisin yan. Kung glass, 'di ba? Tapos sa pool, hassle 'yan. Pag naglangoy si Donalyn, mabububog siya. Teka. Anyway, panoorin natin 'yan mamaya. As for the real Squid Game, ano ba? Uy, may Uy, Ajan. Uy, may nagtanong dito. Siguro nakita niya yung sinasabi ko about sa military ads. Nagtanong si Chad Cortez, any reaction kung dapat bang ibalik ang ROTC sa college? Oy, ganito yung ako kasi I think yung next batch namin ang last na hindi, yung batch na sumunod sa batch namin were the last batch na nagkaroon ng ROTC. So second to the last batch kami na may ROTC sa Pilipinas. Okay, so nung high school nagkaroon kami ng CAT, tapos college 2 years 4 sems merong ROTC. Ang problema, okay, unahin natin pala. ROTC kasi is supposed to be yung sa pagkakaintindi ko yung purpose niya talaga is to keep a reserve force in case na magkagera at kailanganin ng sundalo ng Pilipinas. So reservist ka dun. I forget the exact term. Pero ang mangyayari pag nagkagera, doon kukuha ng mga sundalo dun sa mga nakapagtapos ng ROTC. Yun ang niya, which is kung nasa wartime at nasa kakailanganin mo yun. Ideally, in a perfect world, ang isang bansa should have a competent military. Kumbaga, competent soldiers, competent structures ng paraan para i-defend ang sarili niya against conquerors. Yung mga kung may mananakop sa atin like China, kung basta mga armed conflicts, we should be able to defend ourselves. And to be able to do that, you would need soldiers. And not just soldiers, ideally, competent soldiers. Ang problema kung maa-achieve ng ROTC yun, payag ako Sige, di ba? Kung maayos yung patakaran kasi it's just 2 years, 'di ba? 2 years lang naman At saka based on my experience, ang saya nung ROTC namin. Nung nag-bivouac kami sa Tanay. It was a fond memory. Bivouac, to those not familiar, basically parang pupunta ka dun sa military camp. Tapos gagawin mo yung mga training routines nila. So may mga obstacle course, mga ganyan. Tapos tumulay kami dun sa rope na nakalambitin ka lang. Basta may technique dun eh. Para magano. Teka, baka may video ng bivouac. BIVO. Yan. BIVOUAC. Bivouac Tanay. Eto, Tanay Rizal. Yan ba yan? Yan. I think yan nga. I think this is the same camp. Basta, ang saya namin dyan. So, that was, I think, 3 days. Tapos walang laba-laba. Natatandaan ko, umuwi kami galing Tanay. Kasi pagpunta namin doon, naka-bus kami. Magkakasama kaming lahat. Pero nung umuwi na kami, pinabayaan na kami. Kumbaga, bahala na kayo sarili-sarili nyo na umuwi. Or either that, or naiwanan kami ng bus na supposedly maghahatid sa amin. But then again, nung back then, I didn't really mind kasi ang saya nung tropa namin eh. Kasama ako sa mga medic sa Mapua. Sa medic. Kaya ako naging medic kasi yung pinsan ko, actually tsuhin ko yun eh, pero mas bata ng konti. ROTC officer siya, 'di ba? So nung nalaman niya na mag-ROTC na ako, ang tip niya sa akin, kung ayaw mong mahirapan, ayaw mong mabilad sa araw, pag nagtanong sila kung kung sino ang mga may gustong mag-medic, pumunta ka doon. 'Di ba? 'Yon. So tinandaan ko 'yon. Pag medic. Yun pala, meron pang MP. Medic lang ang nasabi niya eh. So hindi ko naman alam pati kung ano yung MP eh, 'di ba? So military police ibig sabihin noon. Pero medic, syempre yun yung mga kung may nahihilo, mga ganyan. So yun. So taas punta ako dun sa mga medic, 'di ba? Yun nga, tama yung ano niya. Nandun lang kami sa lilim, 'di ba? Tapos naghihintay lang kami ng mga nahihilo at saka yung mga nag-iinarte. Kasi minsan pa magpe-pretend ka na nahihilo ka eh. Tapos bibigyan mo ng ammonia, ganun. Ganun lang yung ano namin. Tapos ang sabi pa yung mga bakla daw, at least sa kanila madami daw pumupunta daw dun sa mga medic, 'di ba? Dun sa batch namin, isa lang yung bakla eh. Dun sa second dun sa next year, doon meron madami sila doon. So naging medic ako. And during that time, yung camaraderie namin dun sa battalion, di battalion. Basta sa grupo namin as medics, ang saya namin. Di ko na ikukwento. That's for a story for another day. And pati yung mga MP naging tropa namin eh. So nung nasa bivouac kami, it's like we were a brotherhood na basta ang saya namin nun, nagiinuman kami doon sa barracks, basta basag kaming lahat. Grabe yun. Tapos nung tumatawid kami doon sa river, teka baka pakita dito yan, kasi ang unang gagawin sa'yo pag mamartsahin ka papunta doon sa camp. So nakasakay kayo ng bus, ibababa kayo siguro mga 5 kilometers or more dun sa actual na camp. Tapos maglalakad na kayo. So, ganyan. Mukhang ganun pa rin yung ginagawa nila. And then later on, they're gonna let you try firing guns, di ba? Mga Armalite, ganyan. Tapos, gagawin mo yung mga tawag doon, yung mga obstacle courses. Wala to. Mukhang airsoft lang yata ito eh. Hindi yan yun. Basta. Airsoft pala yan. Basta may river doon. Ilang beses akong nahulog doon. Pati yung tropa. Tapos ilalaglag mo yung tropa mo. Basta. Sobrang saya ng bivouac na yun. balik tayo dun sa ROTC. Kung maayos nila yon, okay lang sa akin. Okay lang sa akin. Kasi it's not that bad. 'Di ba? Depende dun sa ROTC program ng school nyo. If you can make it fun, a fun experience, like sa akin relatively a lot more fun than others. Kasi yung ibang tropa ko na nagkukwento about ROTC, parang busit na busit sila eh, di ba? Kami dahil nandun lang kami sa lilim, masaya kami, di ba? Tapos ang problema lang doon, sobrang corruption. Sobrang corruption talaga. Yung mga sundalo na nandun, Di ko na lang hindi ko na rin naman alam kung ano mga pangalan nila. Pero basta it's a very corrupt system, and they were just there to earn money. Kasi yung ibang ayaw na magbayad, yung mga hindi uma-attend, binabayaran lang nila, di ba? Yung mga uma-absent, babayaran nila di ko alam, parang 10K ata. Hindi naman parang 500 isang araw na hindi ka papasok. Pwede kang umabsent, parang ganun. So naging business, tapos minsan kung wala kang pera, bigyan mo ng alak, parang ganun. So, yun ang walang silbi. Walang silbi yung namin, yung training namin. And aside from that, wala namang ginagawa talaga dun sa na I don't think na meron silang ginawa na magagamit mo sa sa, sa actual combat. Kasi aside from the bivouac, most of the ROTC sessions, dati sa Mapua lang kami eh. Lumipat kami ng Camp Kapinpin sa sa QC. Tapos nung nandoon, parang wala, nakatayo lang sila, 'di ba? Tapos naiinitan lang talaga sila. Tapos magpu-push up, squat thrust, ganyan. Walang nangyayari. So pag nagkaroon ng giyera, useless din, 'di ba? Anong nangyayari doon? So kung ganun lang naman ang gagawin nila, di wag na. Pero kung I don't know, sa South Korea, since they are technically officially, actually hindi pa natatapos yung Korean War eh. It's just really parang humupa ng there's peacetime right now. Pero officially the Korean War is still ongoing. Kaya meron yung DMZ eh, yung demilitarized zone. Kasi they're still officially at war. So dahil at war sila, all men are required by law to serve 3 years in the military. Diba? So hindi lang basta special course sa tawag dito sa school. Talagang 3 years of your life sasaba ka sa military. Ginawa ni Korean Zombie dun sa UFC. There's a fighter at the height of his career. He had to leave the UFC for 3 years to serve as a soldier sa South Korean Armed Forces. I would assume that would be a far more effective program than the ROTC. Hindi ko alam, I can't speak for the ROTC programs before my time, kung okay o hindi. Pero kung gagawin lang nila yung katulad nung sa ginawa nila nung panahon ko, wag nang ituloy yan. Pero if they can do it properly, then I am for it. Kasi you'll never know. Hindi ko alam kung pag nagkagyera ngayon sa lahat ng mga bansa sa Pilipinas, ilan ang kayang talunin ng Pilipinas. Diba? Hindi ko alam. Baka ang unti lang. Sana naman meron, di ba? Baka matalo pa tayo ng Sudan. Pero kung all things being equal kasi, let's say we get an equal match for the Philippines. Sometimes kasi the warrior culture will take over. Right now, hindi natin dama yung warrior culture ng mga Pilipino. Although for millennia, we had been a warrior society kasi laging nag-aaway yung mga yung mga tribo dati eh. At least that's what I know, 'di ba? Um pero ngayon, 'di ba? Sino sa atin ng marunong ilan sa atin ng marunong mag-arnis, 'di ba? Ilan sa atin ang nakapagpapatok na ng baril, 'di ba? Paunti ng paunti 'yan. So, pag nagkagiyera, ano mangyayari sa atin, 'di ba? Tapos yung mga sundalo natin hindi pa nirerespeto, 'di ba? So, wala tayong kakayahan para ipagtanggol ang sarili, then we end up being lapdogs of foreign powers like the US and China. Oy, isog si Chad Cortez, mukhang enjoy naman siya sa field. I suppose basta you can kung ganun kasi magkakaroon ka ng mga tropa dun sa dun sa field while kung medic ka or MP ka, 'di ba? I suppose nasa mo 'yun, nasa sayo on how you will take it. Kung sasaya lang, okay sa akin, pero dun sa kung pagbabasihan mo dun sa purpose niya, parang it was a waste of time. Mukhang hindi ko alam kung may nakuhang kung merong mga soldiers na pala ang Pilipinas dun sa batch namin nung nag-ROTC kami. Uy, nawala yung Teka, hanap tayo. Meron pa ba? Tingnan natin kung meron pa. Eternals! Ilang oras na tayo? Pucha, more than 1 hour na pala tayo. Okay. Ito, last na tong Eternals. Nakakatawa yung Eternals kasi of course, Eternals is the latest MCU movie. Yan natin. Hanapin natin. Ang thing dito sa Eternals, eto, pumasok na naman dito yung mga woke shit. Yan yung epidemic ng wokeness sa Hollywood eh. Inuuna pa nila kasi yung yung woke messaging than creating a compelling story. Una pa lang, ang daming ang dami ng characters dito. Medyo sa akin that would be a big challenge already kung paano mo gagawa ng backstories tong mga characters na to. The Avengers, yung Endgame, Infinity War, that's a different story kasi you have 10 years of library ng individual movies with the characters in the finale ng MCU, 'di ba? So, well, more or less kilala mo na yung mga characters by the time na nag-Endgame at Infinity War. Dito sa Eternals, ngayon mo lang sila makikilala. Kasi ako, I did not really follow Eternals sa comics. Hindi ko sila kilala. Alam ko lang, tawag doon. Ay, hindi pala. Eternals, iba pa pala yun. Iba pa pala yung Eternals sa nalimutan ko. Basta. Tapos, ang isa pang criticism dito is yung mga kalaban, hindi ko alam kung may surprise villain dito sa movie na to ha. Pero yung mga kalaban, yung mga what are they called? Parang mga monsters lang sila eh, 'di ba? Parang what? Yan yung kalaban. Wala silang Thanos figure. As far as I know, baka naman meron, 'di ba? And that would be very challenging, a very challenging story to write and make it compelling. And but then again, malay mo ma-pull off nila, 'di ba? But the critics, teka, ano ba yung Eternals 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 Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. So, ang Rotten Tomatoes, eto, yung critic score nila is 46%. Surprisingly, nabaliktad ngayon. Yung audience score is 80%. So, seems like it is an enjoyable film. Mukhang enjoyable film naman siya. Kasi, what happened to me, na I think kagagawa ng MCU to, is naging ako naging ang naging standard ko na sa movie ngayon whenever I watch movies is to just be entertained. Parang feeling ko nga nung first time kong napanood yung June, gumawa pa ako ng review na mini review about the movie June. Ang sinabi ko doon, mabigat yung kwento ng June. 'Di ba? Pero parang nung pinag-isipan ko, mabigat ba 'yon? Parang ang dating sa akin mabigat na yung kwento, pero sa totoo lang di naman ganoon kabigat. Dahil I think that is because of the MCU na parang it's just alam mo yun, parang the way Martin Scorsese puts it, it's not cinema. It's like a theme park. You just go there to have a thrill, to get a thrill. And it's a different experience than watching films like, I don't know, Citizen Kane, mga ganyan, 'di ba? So, yun ang naging epekto sa akin ng MCU, 'di ba? So, nung nakapanood ako nung June, parang parang wow, parang ang bigat bigla ng pakiramdam. So, I suppose Eternals would follow the same MCU formula. I haven't seen it. I don't know kung meron kang pwedeng i-download nito. I'm not really too excited about it. Kasi I think nagkaroon na rin ng MCU fatigue na tinatawag for me, at least dun sa mga when they introduce new superheroes. If it's Spider-Man, wala, hindi ko pagsasawaan 'yan, 'di ba? Pero itong mga to, hindi ko kilala to 'di ba? 'Di ba? So we'll see. Yung Shang-Chi parang okay lang. Hanggang ngayon nga, hindi ko pa rin napapanood ng Shang-Chi. At parang feeling ko walang nawala sa akin. Pero back then, if I missed let's say Infinity War, when Infinity War first came out, I think it took me mga 5 days bago ko siya napanood, and during that 5 days parang hindi ko pa napapanood, 'di ba? Ngayon wala akong pakialam kahit hindi ko pa napapanood yung Shang-Chi. At the same with this. I don't know if that's Marvel fatigue. I don't know hindi ko alam kung mangyayari rin 'yan sa Spider-Man No Way Home, 'di ba? If I'm curious kung pag lumabas yung Spider-Man, how soon would I want to see it? 'Di ba? If kung sa akin parang wala lang, okay. Next week na, parang ganun. Then I suppose may Marvel fatigue na talaga ako. And another controversy about Eternals is meron silang meron kasi silang tawag dito, LGBTQ plus IA scenes dito. Merong gay kiss between two characters na superheroes. And there are countries that banned the movie because of those scenes. Okay, so Disney for once stood their ground. Sabi nila, hindi namin tatanggalin 'yan. 'Di ba? Kasi isa 'yun sa mga yun yung mga yun yung mga isang binebenta nila talaga dito na parang yung diversity, they race swapped and gender swapped some of the characters, 'di ba? It's their movie kung gano'n ang trip nila, 'di ba? Di sige. But at the end of the day, a day later, kasi bawal sa Middle Eastern countries yun sa UAE, sa Egypt, etc. Saudi rin siguro. Kumbaga, a day later, parang binawi. They censored it. Still. What they did is they took out all of the sex scenes, not just the gay scenes, but also the heterosexual scenes. So, lahat ng intimate scenes, tinanggal na nila. Okay. So, hindi ko alam parang what? Akala ko ba hindi nyo tatanggalin? But they still caved in. So, I don't know what to say about that. I'm not a big fan of Disney's virtue signaling, 'di ba? Parang they they parang they preach diversity, they preached equality, pero naman sila, submissive naman sila sa China. They want the China market, 'di ba? The billions, the yuans, 'di ba? To the point na they would remove characters in the poster, 'di ba? Mga ganyan sa Star Wars. And yun. Ano pa ba? Dr. Fauci. Yes. Okay na yan. Let's scroll a little bit more. I suppose that's it. Maraming salamat sa mga nanood. Yun. Powerful Comics Man Podcast.